Dan from Purely Website. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the top things you need to do after installing WordPress on your account. So here we are in our control panel. Under Applications Installed, you can see we've got WordPress here already. Let's click on Manage. This is going to show all of the details for our current WordPress installation. This is just a default install, so we've just got the default plugins. All of them are up to date, otherwise we would see the upgrade warnings here. Just the default themes, and everything else is as standard. Let's jump into the WordPress dashboard. First thing I like to do is go to Settings and General. The site title here, by default, if you install it through our automatic installer, will just be your domain name. You can change this to whatever you like. Let's set this to just my blog for now. Further down the page, you can choose your site language, your time zone, and your date format. I like to just set this to something a little bit more simple and click Save Changes. And there we go. And one of the next things I like to do is to sort out our backups. So Purely Website takes our backups every day. We store those off-site and keep them for 7 days. But it's always good to have your own copy. For that, I like to just add a plugin called Updraft. So we'll search for that here. And we'll get that installed. This will just take a couple of seconds to download the plugin and install it for us. Once that's done, we can go ahead and activate it. So now we have Updraft here in the left column. You can click on that. Let's go to the Settings tab. So we want to make sure that our backup schedule is set to an automatic period rather than manual. I like to have this every day. We can change the backup retention here. Let's change this to 5 for both the files and the database. So we are going to be using Dropbox, so we'll select that. You will need to authenticate with Dropbox, but first you need to make sure all these settings are correct. So by default, included in the backups, the plugins, themes, and your uploads directory. You can add some excludes here if you wish. The default ones will just make sure that you're not backing up any backups. That's going to cause your Dropbox disk usage to go through the roof. We want to keep all of these as standard, and we should just click on Save. So now we get this pop-up. We need to follow the link to authorize Dropbox on our account. So we'll just click this. We should be taken to Dropbox, and straight away we get told the setup is complete. Let's just log back in to our WordPress. Press complete again, and at the top we can see we have successfully authenticated our Dropbox account. There is one more thing that I like to check. Go to Settings, go down to the bottom, and show the expert settings. We want to make sure delete local backup is ticked. We don't want any backups to be kept on our Purely Website account. That's just going to use up a lot of disk space that we can be using for other things such as uploads, images, and emails. At the top, we can click on Backup Now. Everything there we can keep as standard. And further down the page here, we get this progress bar. We're uploading the files to remote storage. As we've got a fairly empty WordPress installation at the moment, this should only take a minute, maybe 2 minutes at maximum, but we can see it's going quite quickly. And backup is finished. So if we go ahead to Dropbox, we see this apps folder here, and Updraft, and here we go. We have all of our backups that we've just generated. We can see we have uploads, themes, plugins, others, and the database. So let's go back into WordPress. The next thing I like to do is install another plugin called Securi. It's a very popular security plugin for WordPress. Let's just go ahead and install that. Again, this will just take a minute while it happens in the background, and then we can click Activate. We can see Securi settings in the left-hand column here. Clicking all this will be your audit logs, which will show all of the links. This is a very empty version of WordPress and any scripts that we have. And we can see, more importantly, on the right-hand side here, the site is clean and we're not blocked in anything. Do have some recommendations in there. We'll probably go over those in a future video. There is another plugin that I like to install called WordPress Statistics, if I can say it. And let's install that now. It's just a very simple plugin just to get some statistics about your website visitors, where they're coming from, how many hits you're having. Again, that is in the left-hand side. So once we have some visitors to our blog, we'll be able to see where they came from, most visited pages, operating systems, and a lot of other information which might be useful to any advertising campaigns that we're running. Now, we can install other themes. By default, we currently use in 2025. You can add a new theme up the top here. This will show you a lot of popular themes, including Elementor, and whichever theme you choose will largely depend on the business that you're running or the type of blog that you're running. There are a lot of themes in here. It is as simple as just clicking preview or install. So we can preview a theme just to see how it looks. If you don't like that one, you can choose another one, preview that one. Maybe let's find one that we like. This one looks pretty good. Just go ahead and install. And there we go. We can activate that. And we have that theme installed. From there, you can add your posts, pages. There is actually one other plugin that I would recommend installing called Yoast. This helps with your SEO. So it's a free plugin. It does make a huge difference in terms of your SEO content. We'll activate that. Once again, that's in the left-hand side. There's a lot of settings. Generally, you probably won't need to change those. Now, when you go and edit a post, you'll see the Yoast SEO section at the bottom. There's some sad faces because we haven't added any key phrases. It gives you a preview of what it will look in search engine results, and give you some recommendations on the right-hand side here. So I think that about covers it for this video. If there's anything you want to see covered in future videos, feel free to leave those in the comments. If you're looking for web hosting, visit us at purely.website. Do web hosting from £2 a month, and we have over 550 TLDs to choose from for domain registrations. If you need any assistance, feel free to click the live chat button in the bottom right corner of the website, and we'll be happy to help you. See you in the next one.